Haribol Namaste. Please accept my humble respect to everyone. Welcome to Kirtan Bhai. Save Kirtan. Then after Kirtan, I will continue the Ratha Yatra story. Okay. Krishna Prasthaya Buddhale Shrimati Sita Swarupananda Paramahamsa Dinamine Namo Sita Swarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Gaura Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Krishnayate Namo Sita Swarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Gaura Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Krishnayate Namaste Saraswati Deva Vani Prachaline Nirvisesa Sunyavati Vaskachade Satarine Bhaja Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasade Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Bhaja Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasade Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana 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 Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada Haribol Padaya, Krishna Prestaya, Bhutale Shimati, Sida Swarupananda, Paramahamsa Itinamini, Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhunchananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadego Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Bol. So, continue ko yung Ratha Yatra story. So, the pastime of Ratha Yatra. So, King Indrayubna obeys the Lord. After hearing the Lord's divine voice, King Indrayubna no longer lamented. He folded his hands and prayed, "My Lord, I shall patiently wait. Whatever you desire, I shall do." He understood an important truth taught in the Vedas. The Lord revealed himself only by his own mercy. No one can force him to appear. With renewed determination, the king began carrying out the Lord's instruction. As preparation were underway, the great sage Narada descended to the sacred hill. The king immediately welcomed him with great respect. He washed the sage's feet according to the Vedic custom. So, following Narada's guidance, King Indrayubna arranged a magnificent Vedic sacrifice. Learned Brahmana from many regions assembled. Sacred fire were lit according to Vedic injunction. The air echoed with the chanting of Vedic mantras. Offering the clarified butter, grains, wood, herbs were placed into the sacred fire. So the king did not perform the sacrifice for material prosperity or request. His only desire was, may the Lord reveal himself for the benefits of all living beings. One morning, fishermen, I think we finished already this one. So the carpenter, arrival of an extraordinary old carpenter. This is already done, I think. Okay. So, when the finished the carpentry, the mysterious carpenter had vanished. No one had seen him leave. There was no sign of him anywhere. The sage immediately understood this was no ordinary artisan. He had been sent by the Lord himself. So before the king stood three extraordinary deities, Lord Jagannath, Lord Balaram, and Subhadra Devi. Their form were unlike any deities anyone had ever seen. Their eyes were very large and filled with compassion. Their smiling faces radiated joy. Their form were complete as manifestation of the Lord's divine will. Although their arms and legs were not curved in the ordinary human style, the king was both joyful and sorrowful. He offered obeisances, but prayed, "O Lord, because I have impatient and opened the door too soon, Have I interrupted you, your work? So, according to the traditional narration, the Lord assumed the king that this was his eternal and desired form. So, desire talaga ni Jagannath na ganong klase ng form. He had chosen to appear exactly like this. His unique form was not incomplete because of human error. Rather, it reveals his inconceivable nature and his desire to accept the love of all people. So the Lord accepted the king's devotion. So King Indrayudna's sorrow turned into overwhelming joy. So he realized the Supreme Lord has personally appeared before us. So the deities were bathed according to the Vedic rites. Fragrant sandalwood paste was offered, beautiful flowers, garland adorned them, incense filled the temple, conch sounded, Brahmana chanted Vedic hymns, devotees sang the holy names of the Lord. So the king personally offered prayers with folded hands and tears of gratitude. The Lord, who had once been hidden as Nila Madhava, was now manifest for the whole world as Lord Jagannath, together with Lord Balaram and Subhadra Devi. So this is not yet the actual Ratha Yatra. The next stage is the most celebrated at all. So, the King Indrayudna desired to serve the Lord after Lord Jagannath, Lord Balaram, and Subhadra Devi manifested from the sacred Daru Brahma. King Indrayudna felt that simply worshipping them inside the temple was not enough. So, my Lord, so he prayed, Indrayudna prayed, my Lord, may everyone, not only kings and priests, but every man, woman, child, saint, and humble soul receive your merciful darsana. So the king understood that the Supreme Lord belongs to all living beings. So Lord Jagannath desired to leave the temple and travel publicly so that everyone could see him. So the Lord inspired the king and the assembled sages with his divine will. This revealed an important spiritual truth. So unlike ordinary kings who remain in palaces while people come to them, the Supreme Lord lovingly comes out to meet his devotee. So King Indrayudna invited great sages headed by Narada, and the king asked, how should I prepare for the Lord's journey? So Narada replied, everything should be done according to the sacred principles, with purity, devotion, and humility. So the chariot should be worthy of carrying the Supreme Lord. The king ordered that suitable trees be sought. So this was not ordinary logging. So the workers first offer prayers to the Lord and ask forgiveness before cutting any trees. So the Lord was selected carefully. The wood was selected carefully with great reverence because it was meant for the Lord's personal service. Nothing was done carelessly or for profit. So when the timber arrived, purifying the materials, when the timber arrived, learned Brahmanas chanted Vedic mantras. Holy water was sprinkled upon the wood. So incense, flower, lamps, and offering were presented. So craftsmen bowed before beginning their work. Every piece of wood was regarded as sacred because it would carry the Lord. Ganun pala. So, instead they thought we are serving the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead. With every cut of the wood, they remembered the Lord. So the atmosphere was filled with the chanting of the holy names. No one considered the work ordinary. Following the Lord's arrangement, 3 separate chariots were built. One was for Lord Jagannath, one was for Lord Balaram, and one was for Subhadra Devi. Each chariot had its own distinctive appearance and decoration. Beautiful cloth canopies were prepared. Strong wooden wheels were fashioned. So flags, garland, and the people marveled at their beauty. When the construction was complete, the king did not immediately place the Lord upon them. First, sacred ceremonies were performed. So the Brahmana chanted Vedic hymns, offering of clarified butter, flowers, fruit, incense, and lamp were made. Then the chariot themselves were dedicated to the Lord's service. Only after these rites were completed were the chariots considered ready. So King Indrayubna folded his hand and prayed, O Lord Jagannath, if this chariot please you, kindly accept them and bless all who behold or assist in your journey. So the devotees responded with loud cries of Jaya Jagannath. So, for the first time, the Lord's magnificent chariots stood ready to the sacred procession that would become known throughout the world as Ratha Yatra. So at last the Lord awaited. They arrived before sunrise. The entire city awoke, and streets were washed with fragrant water. Fresh flowers were scattered everywhere. Colorful flags and banners fluttered in the breeze. Doorways were decorated with mango leaves, banana trees, and flower garland. Everywhere, people chanted, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath. So the city was filled with anticipation. People had traveled from distant kingdoms just to witness the Lord's first public procession. So inside the temple, the priests rose early. They bathed and purified themselves according to the Vedic injunction. And they offer sandalwood paste, beautiful flowers, incense, and ghee, fresh fruit, sweet, and many others. So the Brahmanas recited sacred Vedic hymns. Devotees sang the holy names of the Lord with tears of joy. King Indrayubna did not think, I am the ruler. Instead, he thought, today I am a simple servant of Lord Jagannath. So he removed his royal pride. Standing before the Lord with folded hand, he prayed, everything belongs to you. May this festival bring your mercy to everyone living being. This humility pleased the Lord. So at the proper moment, the temple doors were opened. Thousands of devotees waited outside in eager expectation. So Some simply gazed upon the Lord without blinking, afraid to miss even a moment of His beautiful darsana. It was a rare blessing to see the Lord leave His temple to meet all people. So the Lord was slowly brought towards the waiting chariot. Musician, mirdanga, everything and all the devotees, our devotees, continuously sang the Lord's name. So with the greatest care and reverence, Lord Balaram was placed upon his chariot. Then Subhadra Devi was seated upon her. And finally, Lord Jagannath was lovingly installed upon his magnificent chariot. The moment the Lord was seated, the crowd erupted with joyful cries, Jagannath! Jai Jai Jagannath! Flowers showered from every direction. The devotees raised their hands in celebration. Many felt that all the hardship of life had been forgotten simply by seeing the smiling face of the Lord. At first, the chariot remained still. Although the Supreme is all-powerful, He willingly allowed Himself to be controlled by the love of His devotee. At first, the chariot remained still. The devotees offered heartfelt prayers. They loudly chanted the holy names of the Lord. Then the Lord Jagannath's own wheel, the great wheels began to turn. Slowly, majestically, the first Ratha Yatra procession began. So the people danced before the chariot. Others sang. Others offered flowers as the Lord passed. So the street echoed with joyful glorification of the Supreme Lord. It seems that heaven itself had descended upon the earth. So the Vaishnava always explain this. Festival teaches an eternal lesson. Out of thousands of devotees held the thick. So as 1,000 of devotees held the thick rope, they cried together, Jaya Jagannath, Hari Hari. The enormous wooden wheels slowly began to turn. Each movement of the chariot filled the devotees with joy. As the procession traveled through the street, Lord Jagannath looked upon all with his large, merciful eyes. People came from every walk of life, kings and ministers, brahmanas and sages, merchant, farmers, craftsmen, women carrying their children, elder devotees, poor people who had little to offer except their love. So, throughout the procession, devotees sang the holy names of the Lord without stopping. So, mirdangan and everything. So, although he was King Indrayubna's service, although he was the emperor, King Indrayubna did not seek honor. He considered himself only the servant of the Lord, according to the Asian tradition. With Ratha Yatra, the king personally performed a humbly service by cleansing before the Lord's procession, demonstrating that before the Lord, Supreme Lord, worldly status has no importance. So he prayed, may my pride be removed. May I always remain the servant of your servant. This humility became an enduring lesson for the future generation. As the Lord approached Gundika, the devotees became even more jubilant. Many cried tears of love. Some sung loudly, So Lord, sa other bowed flat upon the ground. Many prayed, O Lord Jagannath, please always remain within my heart, just as you have come out to bless the whole world today. So at the proper time, Lord Jagannath, Lord Balaram, and Subhadra were respectfully brought into Gaudika temple. So the temple was decorated with flowers, colorful cloth, and lamps. So Lord Jagannath represents Sri Krishna. Gaudika represent the pure atmosphere of Vrindavan. So the devotees pulling the chariot represent the holding of pure devotees to bring Krishna back into their heart through loving devotion. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu later danced before Lord Jagannath's chariot in Puri, the Gaudiya tradition explained that he experienced the mood of Radharani, joyfully meeting Krishna and longing to bring him back to Vrindavan. So Sri Radharani is joyfully meeting Krishna and longing to bring him back to Vrindavan. And there was a continuous chanting at that time. Okay? Let's chant again. Jaya Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Jaya Balaram. Haribol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chanda Charya, Gaur Bhakta Vrindan, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chanda Charya, Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Nitai Gaur. Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Nitai Gaur. Haribo. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutta Deshmate Sita Swarupananda Prabham Chaitinam Vajra Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasade Go Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Haribo, salamat po, namaste everyone.